I just want to give a quick overall strategy, just show the strategy and overview. To start in the top right hand corner, I've already talked about VIP points. You want to get to at least VIP 14, get your um, three sculptures every single day, and also you get your golden key, which is kind of pointless, but there's things there, and you can kind of use it to build up your resources and your speed ups. That's the first thing. Obviously, another thing is to prioritize. Building up your everything needs to be at the maximum level. Obviously, your resources, you get all these for free. It just builds up over time. You want to obviously do that. Another thing which is always talked about is the state forum. This helps you to build up, resources, but also your key formations. That you can have the equipment and the artifacts for your key formations, and that has a massive impact on your skill and your damage dealt, and limiting the damage received in every single battle. So it's absolutely key critical. So over time you've got to have a view about, that's what I want to be, that's what I want to be aiming towards. So again, you want to be spending your gems and getting your golden heads. I think that probably is the key thing. But also you would be spending gems on and it's going to be easier as you go through the VIP levels. Your Book of Covenants inevitably, and you'll also get your Book of Covenants from is it Forts? It's been a long time. I think it's Forts, and I think you get the Arrow of Resistance from defeating Barbarians. So much easier to get the Arrow of Resistance, and that helps you to build up your if I recall, your wall. The covenants for the wall, isn't it? And the arrows are for something else. It's been a long time, but anyway. So obviously you're going to be thinking about where you want to position things. I would definitely say focus on your your VIP level, and then more or less everything else, as much as is possible. Okay, so then it's going to be, well, which commanders do you go for? I like tanky commanders. I've always invested in infantry. I still love Juan. I've seen videos, talking down Juan. Juan gives you the area of effect, otherwise known as AOE, damage to or three areas in a fan three areas three enemies in a fan shape, and also silence is there, and there's that silence which is key because it stops them triggering their active skill, aka their primary skill, in damage against you. So definitely a fan of Juan, and again there's going to be a repetitive theme about AOE. And one of the key things I want to say now before I forget it is these single damage commanders, you got to be sure that that's what you want to do. You've got to be sure that you want to invest in this above somebody who attacks more than one person in a very impactful way, because obviously attacking more than one is better than attacking only one. Simple as that. So that's why obviously my main commanders are going to be always Juan. Okay, we'll go on to archers now. So I apologize for butchering the name, but Mr. Liang, AOE. But there will be, and he's obviously going to be amazing against people like myself who are primary infantry. There's a lot of calves out there though, and I guess you can't win, but there are a lot of people who want that calves, and then there's a lot of videos out there talking about this kind of march speed meta and boosting up calves like they're the best thing in the world, which they're not bad, but and I think that there's been some investment in kind of giving calves an edge in some ways to compete with infantry, but I don't think they still do. So all I'm saying is, I do like AOE. I do like Mr. Liang here, but and he's going to be useful against infantry. But there's going to be in open field. There's going to be lots of calves who are just licking their lips to get rid of you because they'll have that natural advantage against you, and they're going to target you anyway because you're AOE, and they don't want to, they don't want to take that damage. But nevertheless, he's in my team, he's in the roster. And sometimes you just can't have it all. So when you got these two, they're always going to be the first people that people try and attack. But I think it's definitely worth having. New meta, Lui Che. So it doesn't do active damage. It does smite damage, otherwise known as damage based on attack, on your attack level. Yeah, definitely worth having for those reasons. Again, his infantry, he's tanky, you got this new meta. Does a lot of damage in the 5 enemies in the fan. Yes, the damage goes down depending on how many enemies there are to attack. But the more that you got all your troops attacking everybody that's there with relatively large damage, whoever is there ain't gonna be there that long. And as you get through them, you'll be killing them quicker because the additional enemy damage penalty goes down the less enemies that there are, and that is inevitable. So this is number 3 of my favorites. Commanders, I'm going to skip past Sargon just quickly. Current meta, Trajan is just a support. It boosts everybody there. So I'm not saying I always use this in open field, but in the canyon and things like that, he's on everybody's meta. Or 9 out of 10 people, not everybody, but 9 out of 10 formations, 5 army formations usually have Sargon as just to, supplementary troops just to boost you. And it usually also has, when I see her, also Mulan, who also boosts attack, defense, health, and damage. Okay, so as I say, I'm kind of going through. Okay, so you're going to have, as you go through the game, you're going to have a limited number, unless you're a mega Chad, mega spender, a limited number of golden commander sculptures. So what do you spend it on? I say Juan, Suj, Mr. Liang, Lui Che definitely would do that. I'm not convinced I would have Sargon anymore. You can get these through gold heads, I believe, from Trajan. Don't quote me on that. This used to be, Zenobia used to be meta for like a garrison commander. Still not bad, but things have moved on a long way from Zenobia. Oh my gosh, early game used to be Richard as the king of kings, just the ultimate tank. No more, you would never see him there. And it's a single hit commander with Harold, complete waste. Single hit Mr. Young, complete waste. Definite meta. Scipio, definite meta. Definitely want to invest your golden head sculptures in. For your canyon, again, Constantine, I really like him as meta. Going forwards, though, we'll probably replace him with somebody that can boost damage, but not for now. And I definitely like him being paired up with Lui Che. Just forget Frederick. Forget Mehmed. I do at the moment, just because of the balance of power I've got, I do still use Alexander the Great. It would not be awful to pair him up with Lui Che, but it's just way too squishy. So in the technicality, you can say that Alexander will optimize and even boost attack for Lui Che, but you'll be so squishy, you're not going to be on the field for long enough for it to matter. But sometimes I do throw him in there just because he's got the up to 3 nearby enemy troops take 30% more damage for 4 seconds, and that's slightly useful. Okay, Yi Song Ye, YSG. Yeah, it used to be in most formations, and probably still is a lot of the time. It's not going to embarrass anybody just because that damage to 5 armies. Damage factor 1.7, it is getting a little bit dated. may well be boosted in terms of their stats elsewhere, which I'll try and remember to go into at the end of the video. But for now, anyway, still holds his ground. Is still decent. This is the guy that I'm trying to build up over time, which is the YSG replacement, and that's Herman Prime. Just does more of everything. So in terms of who to prioritize, I would definitely say, in order for me, being an infantry man, Juan, where is he? I apologize. Juan, Scipio, Lui Che, Mr. Liang, Herman Prime. No harm in obviously optimizing Yi Sung Ye's. No harm at all. It's not going to be end-to-end game, but it's still going to be a powerful commander to have. Free to play. Julio, otherwise known as Julius. Not bad at all. There's people who talk about this one, Mr. Gabing, but it's just single attack, and it's just not so interesting. So there's going to be others that you can also invest in, such as Mr. Gubing. But if you're limited and you're still going through the game, focus on the AoE ones that I've mentioned. It might even be better for you to get to the point where even when you've maximized those, you are building up and you're storing more of those golden commander sculptures for when they release somebody else who is also AoE, somebody else whose meta is obviously going to be useful in most scenarios going forwards, more so than invest in these relics like I did with Harold and Mr. Kyung. It was just a waste, and for me it was also a waste, and I've seen it used a lot of the time investing in Mr. Gabing. So probably would have some kind of balance of free to play with those again. And as I mentioned, I'd still use Constantine, I still use Trajan, and I think I'd rather use that than waste the golden head sculptures. I hope that's useful. And I know I didn't touch a lot on Cavs. I'm not a Cavs man. Maybe I will do a separate video just talking about the strong Cav commanders that there are, and they definitely are. There definitely is, sorry. But I won't touch on it in this video. All the best. Please like and subscribe. Until the next one.